So, thank you for joining me. I'm Katrina Cox, and I'm going to be giving a speech entitled Lost Faith. I am not a crook. In all my years of public service, I have never obstructed justice. Would you believe that this is a direct quote from one of our presidents? Well, it is. This was a statement made by President Richard Nixon in 1973 during an hour-long press conference regarding his involvement in the Watergate scandal. One of the main roles of the president, as stated in Article 2 in the Constitution of the United States of America, is that the president faithfully execute the law. But what happens when the president fails to do this? How are the people of our country supposed to feel when the person that has been chosen or elected to lead them and execute the law is breaking it? My mother, who was 18 at the time and had just earned her right to vote, was discouraged and lost her faith in the president and even a little in democracy. Let me go back and give you a little information on the scandal. It started in 1972 when 5 men were caught breaking and entering into the National Democratic headquarters. They were located in the Watergate office complex in Washington, D.C., hence the name Watergate Scandal. The men were found to be some of President Nixon's administrative officials. They were put on trial, and during the trials, one of the men revealed that President Nixon had been secretly recording conversations in his office. Of course, the tapes were subpoenaed, and they proved that President Nixon had been involved in a direct attempt to cover up the break-ins and several other crimes. So therefore, he had obstructed justice. These tapes became known as the smoking gun tapes and eventually led to the resignation of President Nixon. This is a headline from the Chicago Tribune in 1974 when President Richard Nixon became the first president to resign. As I stated earlier, my mother was a girl of 18 and had just participated in her first presidential election. And even though she was naive in politics, she was excited about participating in our government and in democracy and playing some part in it, however small it may be. As the trial grew on and the scandal became more well publicized, she said it became a very scary time. She wondered what it meant for our country, and do we trust the next person in line because they were directly chosen by the president who didn't do what he said he was? My mother didn't vote for President Nixon, but she said she was respectful of him because he was the president. And since he was the president, he must be a moral and honest person, which was proven otherwise. And she felt there was some flaw in the system that someone of this character could have been elected to such a high position. Well, democracy was created by us, for us, and we are human. And we're flawed, so therefore anything we do is going to be flawed. And as she got older, she realized this, and that helped her to have a little more faith in democracy. Can't say it helped her to have much more faith in the presidency, because as Richard Nixon stated in that same hour-long press conference in 1973, people have got to know if their president is a crook or not. Well, my mother thinks that you never know who someone really is, regardless of what they say or do, but you just have to dig a little deeper and time will tell, and you just have to push on and hope that things will work themselves out for the best. I'd like to thank you for your time